Imagine adding $3 trillion to your company's value in just 3 short years. That's not a typo, $3 trillion. For context, that's more than the entire GDP of Germany in 2023. And it wasn't Amazon, Apple, or Microsoft pulling off this financial miracle, it was Nvidia. A company most people had never heard of outside of tech circles. So, how did Nvidia achieve the impossible? How did a chipmaker become the most valuable company on Earth? And what does this mean for the future of technology, the stock market, and even your wallet? Stick around, because the story of Nvidia's rise isn't just about numbers. It's about vision, timing, and a bet on the future that no one saw coming. Let's rewind to 1993. The world is just discovering the internet. Personal computers are bulky, slow, and reserved for the technically inclined. Enter Jensen Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Preem, 3 engineers with a radical idea. They wanted to make graphics processors not just for gaming but for the computers of the future. This wasn't just another Silicon Valley startup story. It was the birth of a company that would rewrite the rules of technology itself. For decades, Nvidia did what tech companies do best, innovate quietly. They perfected their graphics processing units, GPUs, making them faster, more efficient, and capable of rendering lifelike images in video games. But Huang had a bigger vision. In 2006, Nvidia launched CUDA, a platform that allowed developers to use GPUs for general-purpose computing. This wasn't just about gaming anymore. It was about unlocking the power of parallel processing for scientific research, artificial intelligence, and even self-driving cars. By the 2010s, Nvidia's GPUs were the secret weapon behind some of the most groundbreaking technologies. Meanwhile, tech giants like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon were building data centers powered by Nvidia chips, turning the company into the backbone of the cloud computing revolution. But Nvidia's true moment of destiny arrived in 2020. The world was changing. The pandemic forced businesses to digitize overnight. Remote work, online learning, and e-commerce exploded. And at the heart of it all was data, massive amounts of data that needed to be processed, analyzed, and turned into insights. Nvidia's GPUs were perfectly positioned to handle this deluge. But the real game changer was artificial intelligence. AI wasn't just a buzzword anymore. It was becoming the driving force behind everything from healthcare diagnostics to autonomous vehicles. And Nvidia's GPUs were the engines powering this AI revolution. Companies like Tesla, Meta, and OpenAI relied on Nvidia's hardware to train their most advanced AI models. When OpenAI's ChatGPT took the world by storm in late 2022, it wasn't just a cultural phenomenon, it was a wake-up call for investors. The AI era had arrived, and Nvidia was the company leading the charge. The numbers tell the story. In May 2023, Nvidia's market cap crossed $1 trillion for the first time. By February 2024, it had doubled to $2 trillion. And then, in June 2024, it hit $3 trillion, placing Nvidia ahead of Microsoft and Apple as the most valuable company in the world. How did this happen? Let's break it down into 3 key factors. First, the AI boom. The launch of ChatGPT and other generative AI tools created an insatiable demand for high-performance GPUs. Companies rushed to build AI infrastructure, and Nvidia was the only supplier with the hardware to meet that demand. Second, Nvidia's dominance in data centers. While rivals like AMD and Intel struggled to keep up, Nvidia's GPUs became the standard for cloud computing. Every major tech company, from Google to Amazon, relied on Nvidia to power their AI workloads. And third, strategic acquisitions. Nvidia didn't just rest on its laurels. They acquired companies like Mellanox, a leader in high-speed networking, and ARM Holdings, a giant in chip design. These moves ensured Nvidia wasn't just a player in AI, they were the entire game. But here's the thing, Nvidia's rise wasn't just about luck or timing. It was about Jensen Huang's relentless focus on the future. For decades, Huang bet Nvidia's entire future on GPUs, even when the market didn't see the vision. He invested heavily in research and development, turning Nvidia into a company that didn't just follow trends, it created them. And when the world finally caught up to his vision, Nvidia was ready. So, what does Nvidia's $3 trillion valuation mean for the rest of us? For starters, it's a reminder that the most valuable companies aren't always the ones with the biggest brand names. They're the ones that solve problems before the rest of the world even knows they exist. It's a lesson in patience, innovation, and the power of a long-term vision. But here's the catch, Nvidia's story isn't over. The AI revolution is just getting started. And if history is any indicator, the company that dominates today might not be the one that dominates tomorrow. The question is, who will be next? Will it be Nvidia itself, expanding into new frontiers like robotics and quantum computing? Or will a new player emerge, armed with a fresh idea and the courage to bet big? One thing's for sure, the race for the next technological breakthrough is on. And Nvidia is leading the pack. So, what do you think? Is Nvidia's $3 trillion valuation justified, or is it a bubble waiting to burst? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because stories like this are just the beginning. The future of technology is unfolding right before our eyes, and it's more exciting than we ever imagined. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe to Empire Explained for more stories on history's greatest empires.